Hi, I'm George Mueller, and this is an introduction to History 102-91 for the fall semester of 2018. This introduction is going to explain a little bit about how this class works and show you around some of the resources we have to work with, as well as the syllabus and particularly the calendar. The first thing I wanted to mention is the Blackboard shell. This is the basic way that we will be interacting with each other for the semester. The first thing that you'll see is a set of announcements. And on this page, I'll put up announcements if there's something changing in the class, or I'll usually put up an announcement the week before exams are due or the research paper is due, but only kind of major things. I won't put every assignment up as an announcement. That'll just clog things up. The main areas that we're going to interact with each other through are through the syllabus and course info, and through course content, and the discussion boards. Syllabus and course information is, unsurprisingly, focused on giving you a copy of the syllabus and the instructor information, as well as things like rubrics that are used throughout the class. On this instructor info, you've got my name and some details about my contact information, my Heartland email address, my backup email address, my cell phone number. You're perfectly welcome to call or send me a text message through my cell phone. If you call, please don't call before 9 a.m. or after 10 p.m. I won't answer. And that's the basics there. I do want to take a look at the syllabus. So the syllabus does have the required textbooks. You need Western Civilization by Jackson Spievogel. You need to get volume 2. If it's volume 1, that won't work for this class. You'll be the whole wrong section of history. The edition is a little bit less important. Anything past about the 5th edition is going to be very similar. Although the last chapter will be slightly different. That's why I'd say get at least the 5th edition. Documents of Western Civilization, on the other hand, you need to get the new edition of that. And it needs to be volume 2. We'll be doing a number of assignments from there. And I'm going to scroll down to show you a couple of other things. One is the grading scale. We use a 10-point grading scale. I'm a history instructor, not a mathematician. 10-point scales are easier. As you can see on what a grade actually means, an A always means outstanding performance. If I made an A worth 94 points, well, the only thing that means is that I'll give you 94 points more often than I would on a 10-point scale, and math is a little bit harder for all of us. So the 10-point scale makes a lot more sense. We will have written exams, 4 of them. They are in every other module, and each exam covers material from about 6 chapters of the book. They are an essay. You're expected to have your book available to you while you're writing it, and it's supposed to reflect what you understood from the textbook and the other class materials. We'll also have reading quizzes. These are over each chapter of the book that we read. They're taken online. They're open book. You have 2 hours to complete each. And a reading quiz. The lowest reading quiz score will be dropped from the final, but not from the midterm. There are also document exercises. These are when I give you a prompt and you respond to it based on readings from that documents book. We'll also have a variety of discussion posts. These are the equivalent of group projects and in-class discussions in an in-person class. A major part of this class is a research paper. It's 8 to 10 pages, and details for it will be provided in due course in the class. And we'll be working on this starting the 2nd module of the class and throughout the rest of the class. The attendance policy for this class has to be a little bit different There's a standard one for the history department, but it's for traditional classes. Here's how the class policy works. You should be looking at this class a couple times a week. The class moves fast, and you've got to keep up. At the same time, I'm not going to penalize you if you don't look at the class each week, because I know there are other things that are going on, and some people work ahead in the class. I'll show you how the modules are released, because there's some things we need to do together because of the requirement that history classes include group work and class discussions. So we'll get to how that works in a moment. If you aren't performing well in the class at midterm, if you have less than a 50%, or if you missed more than 6 class periods, which for an for an online class translates to you not checking into Blackboard for 3 weeks, then you'll be dropped. You'll also be dropped if you don't complete at least one of the exams. And that brings us to the course calendar. Now, the course calendar may be changed if something significant happens, if we have unexpected class cancellations at Heartland, or if Blackboard is destroyed by atomic war, which probably won't happen, but just in case, we may change due dates. As you can see from here, this class opens up by module, and modules nominally should take you about 2 weeks to complete. You'll have due dates within a 2-week period. The module will open up at least a full week before that 2-week period, and that means each module is open for 3 weeks. So, for example, the first module opens up on Monday, 8/20. Things are due on 9/2, which is 2 weeks later. Module 2 opens up in the middle of the previous module, and things aren't due for another 3 weeks. And the idea is you can work ahead somewhat, but we do have some things that have to be done together as a class. I try and keep those small. Class discussions, class responses, so if you absolutely had to, you could do it on a cell phone. All the more major things, you have 3 weeks to work up to. All the exams, you've got 3 weeks to work on them. The only one that works, well, the 2 that work differently are the orientation. You have 1 week to do that. That is to get you off and running the first week of class. And the research paper, which opens up on the 27th and closes at the end of November. And that's because we'll have a variety of assignments that will appear there. You'll get at least 3 weeks to do each one, but the intent is to get us moving on that concurrently while you do other modules. Back in Blackboard, the major place we're going to interact is through course content. As you can see, we have each module broken out into its own area. On this course content page, you have what I'd call a landing that has when the due dates are within each module. So it has a list of the specific assignments, and then in red when they are due. You can see for the first one, the orientation has some things due by Wednesday. Module 1 doesn't have anything due till the Sunday, but Module 2 does have some things due on the first Wednesday of the module proper. Module 2 is already available. You can see there are other modules that aren't available to you yet, and they'll appear as we get closer. Now, this is all intended to keep us all kind of working on the same thing so that class discussions can work. Within the modules, you'll often be referred to do something on a discussion board. And discussion boards look like this. Sometimes discussion boards will appear significantly before the assignments that they're connected to are available to you. I do ask that you not go in and work ahead on those. Work on them once they're assigned. And that's actually most of the orientation to this class. One of the first discussion boards I think I'll mention is the questions about this class discussion board. This is a place where you can ask questions about the class, particularly if you're having some kind of problem. You can put it up here. I'll respond to it. Also, your classmates will respond to it. So if you wanted to check this regularly, that's a great idea. So that's the end of the Introduction to History 101. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask me. Otherwise, have a good semester. Thanks a lot.